Lenny Yoro, Mathis Delete, Jared Branthwaite, and now Jonathan Tah. What exactly is INEOS up to? Are they just taking us for a ride? No, guys, calm down. I've got you. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe as I am here to give you clarity on what exactly INEOS are up to when it comes to the central defense, where we are expected to sign 3 players this summer. Well, why aren't we making moves? Now, here is the truth from my sources from within the club. The reality is Manchester United is going to sign at least, at the very worst, 2 centre backs in this summer transfer window. That's a given. It is going to happen. Now, these centre backs are most likely Mathis Delete, Lenny Yoro, and a third one who before was believed to be Jared Branthwaite. But because of the uncertainty surrounding Branthwaite and Everton and whether they will bow down on their high expectation from this summer for that player, Man United could look elsewhere and bring in options. Now, this is where the details come. Now, we've seen reports that came out, I think, yesterday, or I think just yesterday or the day before, suggesting that Manchester United inquired about Jonathan Tah. This is the German international. He's 28, first of all. He's a German international, plays for Bayer Leverkusen. And according to what we know, Bayern have made him the number one option of a centre back to come in and replace Mathis Delete, who is expected to join Manchester United. Now, it wouldn't make sense really. Logic would say, why would Man United go for a player that they know the club that is selling to them their first priority of a centre back is looking at as a replacement for the player they want to buy? It defeats logic, doesn't it? But you see, the thing is, in this game, when it comes to the transfer business, it's not a friend's game that, okay, we are going to sell to you, so you cannot go buy the other because you want them, leave them for us. That's not how it works, fam. This is real serious business. This is the most critical stage in a football season. The players you bring in and let go of determine how you perform in the season. That's without a shadow of a doubt. And Jonathan Tah is undoubtedly one of the best centre backs in the world today. He's without a doubt one of the best defenders in the world. He proved that with the 4 games he played for Germany at the Euros. When they missed him, you know what happened. He played about 31 games for Bayer Leverkusen, ended them winning that Bundesliga title, scored some 4 goals and I think assisted once. He is an important player and he has got a lot of experience. He's extremely technical, like you expect from any German defender. They're always technical players. Now, Tah is a top bowler. He is not the first priority for Man United. One, because of his age. Because the plan for INEOS was and has always been to sign young players, add in a few experienced players, but they have always wanted to sign in central defense positions, especially because they've got an experienced Lisandro Martinez, an experienced Luke Shaw. They just want the other players who come in to be young and players for the future. That's why we are linked to players who are aged, I think, 24 in Mathis Delete, 22-year-olds like Branthwaite, and an 18-year-old Lenny Yoro. Those are the first priorities that they had because of the age. It's very important and critical for the players who wanted to bring in. The ones before, in Todibo, he was only 24. But that doesn't mean they will then go for other mediocre young players if they can't get the first 3 options they wanted. No, they want the players that are in the second tier of interest when it comes to the central defense positions are judged not entirely on their age, but also on their level. Now we know that Jonathan Tah is one of the best, and he's cheap because Bayer Leverkusen, his buyout clause that they ran out was about 18 million euros. But right now, Bayer Leverkusen can let go of him for about 20 million euros, which would be pocket change for Manchester United. In fact, it's possible that United can even add him as a 4th centre back, as it looks, given the money Man United seems to have in this summer. They can add him on. So they bring Lenny Yoro, Jared Branthwaite, and Mathis Delete and add him on as an addition because he's cheap. That's the point I'm trying to say. So we cannot exactly rule him out, but he's more of a backup option in the event, for example, that Mathis Delete fails the medical, for example, because it could happen. Delete has not been 100% fit. We know that. In the event that he fails his medical, in the event that Lenny Yoro, who until now is yet to make a decision on whether he wants to join Man United or he will still wait for Real Madrid, in case Man United run out of patience and say, you know what, we're giving up on this boy, he is among those players they are looking at. In case Everton refused to go down on their valuation of Jared Branthwaite, Jonathan Tah is the quick, easy, available option that is at the level of at their levels, and maybe then United can wait maybe for the next summer, because if he's 28 and he's coming in for 20 million euros, really, he's worth it. He will give you 2 seasons, and 2 seasons of top football for 20 million euros is worth it. Then after, you will get the young players you want at even a cheaper fee. So all that is dependent on what happens with the other first three priorities that we want as Manchester United. So Jonathan Tah, so that's why Man United inquired about the terms. If a club wanted to sign him, what would it take? That's why they made those inquiries. Like, remember I told you, INEOS's plan now is have a list of 3 players in every position you want to sign, and then knock off one after the other. If you fail to get the first priority, what about the second priority? If you fail, the third priority. So Tah is among those being discussed. So is Bremer. You remember Bremer of Juventus? He's still in the plans of Man United. He's still there on the list. And passively, they spoke of Mark Guehi, but maybe Guehi could even come up high in the pecking order because of his performances at the Euros. Because for me, he was the man. I put him in my best 11, I think, of the Euros. My best 11 at the Euros had Jordan Pickford, Kokorea on the left, Guehi, and Guehi, Saliba, and on the right, I had no, I think those. Then in the middle, Kobe, uh, Rodri. I had who else was on my best Euros team? Kante. Then I had Williams, of course, Lamine Yamal, Cody Gakpo. I forget the other one player who was on my list of my best Euros team. So Guehi was in my best Euro team. And that's why I keep wondering why we would be stuck on Branthwaite, back and forth with Branthwaite. Yet for the same money that Everton is refusing, we can get Mark Guehi easily from Crystal Palace. But, and this is the time for Mark Guehi to make that leap, to cross and join a big club. But somehow these big clubs sleep on some of these players, and then they want to buy them more expensively from another small club later on. But going back, of course, to what we're here to talk about. So when it comes to the central defense, INEOS want to go all out because they seem to believe that I think the central defense is the biggest elephant in the Man United room. And that's why, first of all, they are being careful. That's why they are taking time to get the best deals for delete, for all the players they want to bring in. They are looking critically at the very best. And Tah, Jonathan Tah, is easily among those. But he is still, of course, one of the players that, the experienced players that Bayern Munich want to add to Vincent Kompany's team. They view him as a very a top footballer. They view him as a finished product, a finished article who will just come straight into this team, most of perhaps of young, full of young players that they are rebuilding, and help them lift them up to keep them competitive against this stubborn Bayer Leverkusen. So Jonathan Tah is not a far-fetched, speculation, but it's also not advanced. United just inquired about him, which I think is okay because he is in the level of the players, the so-called world-class players would want to see at Manchester United, in the new United. Beautiful stuff there. And for me, I love the players that INEOS is pointing at when it comes to this transfer window. So that's where we are. But until now, we are yet to see a response from Lenny Yoro. Now there is a report that is coming in from David Ornstein right now as I speak about what I've just been telling you and why Jonathan Tah is still there. That the current expectation is that Man United FC would recruit one of Lenny Yoro and Mathis de Ligt as opposed to both. Given a deal for de Ligt looks relatively straightforward if United choose to proceed. At present, they seem to be prioritizing Yoro and exploring whether they can convince the Frenchman to join them rather than hold out Real Madrid. Of course, largely what I've been saying, really. I think that's what I've been saying. So if they bring in one of the two, then the cheaper, because maybe that would be because of finances, maybe then the cheaper Jonathan Tah would be the third addition. So you bring in Euro, bring in their Branthwaite, because I think Eric Ten Hag really wants to bring in a left-footed centre back, a backup for Lisandro Martinez, and that's why Branthwaite is, I think, high up the pecking order. So bring in Yoro or Delete, bring in Branthwaite, and then Jonathan Tah as the third one because it's cheap and available. So that could probably be the plan that Manchester United are trying to go with. So expect some bit of action when it comes to the centre backs at Man United. Expect some bit of serious action to come. That was just a quick one coming through. And for Lenny Yoro, he was perhaps the bid for Yoro went in fast because maybe he's considered ahead of Mathis de Ligt. And again, the fact that the delete deal is straightforward. So for Euro, it had to take some bit of time. Put in the Euro bid early. If it's rejected, then straight activate delete and bring him on. So probably that's what they're thinking. But I think for me, where I am, I'm beginning to lose hope and lose patience with Lenny Euro. And I'm thinking Man United should do the same and just go for the players who are ready to come so that we get the ball rolling. There is clearly a lot of work to do as seen in that preseason friend. Of course, we were playing with a bunch of nobodies who are never going to step on that pitch next season. But again, we need time. New backroom staff. There is lots of new things. We bring in so many new players. They need time to jail in. They need. You saw Andre Onana. It took him about 6 months only for him to feel good, and then another more months for him to start playing football. So it takes time for players to jail into a new team, especially if you bring in so many players. They need time to click and play with each other. So we need to make these deals as early as possible. And it's good we made the first marquee one with Joshua Zirkzee. We need to get on these other deals so fast. This week is moving fast. I still have hope that a deal will be sealed this week. I think our deal number 2 will be sealed before the end of this week. I strongly believe. That's why anyway, INEOS paid all these guys to come in, the likes of Dan Ashworth and Christian Vivo and name them. They paid all these players to come in and make moves happen so fast. If they fail, Omar Berada, the CEO, what's the reason for them to fail? They should be able to get deals across the line as early as they can. But also the Casemiro deal as well, the departure of Casemiro, because it's holding us back when it comes to bidding for a number 6, because they are failing to finalize. They're not failing per se, like I said anyway. The Saudi Pro windows, the Saudi transfer window starts tomorrow. So, like I said, like I've been telling you, expect an official bid for Casemiro either tomorrow or the day after. But because that's when the Saudi Pro League transfer window does open. So progress needs to happen, and I am hoping it will. And as soon we will be getting to see what deal number 2 will be for Manchester United. My name is Webb. This is the United Sport. I just wanted to give you that clarity on the central defense position. On Amrabat, again, this week won't end, guys. This week won't go into our second preseason game before we get an update on Sofiane Amrabat. Trust me on that one. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.